All right, let's dive into some positive habits today. We're going deep with Michael Chapman's 50 positive habits to transform your life.
Oh yeah, this one's packed with good stuff.
Yeah, seriously. Fitness, mental shifts, emotional well-being, lifestyle, even productivity hacks. It's all in here.
It's amazing, isn't it? What I think is so cool is how Chapman doesn't just like throw rules at you.
Yeah.
He really explains like the why behind each habit and shows how even those small things, if you do them consistently, they can really make a big difference over time. It's not about changing overnight, it's about making those little choices each day.
Yeah, totally. And that's what makes it feel like doable. It's not like intimidating or anything. And he starts right off by saying like, hey, fitness is the foundation. You got to build a strong body to have a strong mind.
Exactly. But it's not about becoming a gym fanatic or anything.
Right.
He's just talking about small things you can do every day, like just weaving them into your routine.
Little tweaks.
Yeah, little tweaks. And it's consistency over intensity, remember.
So true. Like that parking away habit.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like genius.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to park as close as possible. But he says, park further away, get those extra steps in. Have you ever actually tried that?
Sometimes, yeah. You'd be surprised it does make a difference.
Okay, so I gotta ask about this one, this bedroom activity habit.
Oh, yeah.
I was a little surprised to see that in there.
Well, Chapman's not shying away from the research, right?
Right.
A healthy sex life, there's a lot of science behind it and how good it is for you mentally and physically. It can lower stress, boost your immune system, even help you sleep better. Of course, it's a personal thing, but the data's there.
Okay, so that makes sense. Now, this next part, the mental makeover section, this is where it gets really interesting because he goes deep into how we think. And it's not just about thinking positive, it's like changing the whole way you process the world, right?
Yeah, it's like becoming more aware of your own thought patterns and learning to choose how you react to things. Instead of just focusing on the negative, Chapman talks about analyzing your failures, coming up with solutions, even questioning your own assumptions.
So it's more about being mindful.
Exactly.
Like intentional with your thoughts. I really liked his thinking about success habit. He says, don't wait till you hit some big goal to celebrate. Just take a few minutes every day and imagine you're making progress.
Yeah.
It's about celebrating the little wins, What are some small wins you could celebrate right now, even if you haven't reached a major milestone?
I like that. It's so easy to just keep pushing for the next thing and not appreciate what you've already done.
And then there's this force of attraction habit. It's all about daydreaming. I used to think daydreaming was just a waste of time, but Chapman's saying, actually, it can help you figure out what you really want and give you a sense of direction.
It's about tapping into that, intrinsic motivation.
Yeah.
Using your imagination to kind of fuel your actions. Sometimes those daydreams can be the spark that leads to actual change in your life.
Now, let's talk about emotions for a second. We all know emotions can be like a roller coaster, right? Chapman's got some really smart tactics for managing those ups and downs. It's not all about meditation either.
Oh no, there's more to it for sure. One technique I was really interested in was the diaphragmatic breathing. Have you ever tried this?
I'm always a little skeptical about breathing exercises.
Okay, but hear me out. It's all about taking slow, deep breaths to center yourself.
I see how that might help, yeah.
It's surprisingly effective. And the good thing is you can do it anywhere, anytime, and you can adjust it to what you need. There are tons of guides online, and you can easily find one that works for you.
Okay, so we're breathing deep, we're visualizing our successes, and we're challenging those negative thoughts. What else does Chapman have for us in terms of emotional intelligence?
One I thought was really powerful was putting perspective together. It's about taking a step back from your own situation and comparing it to what others might be going through.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Not to minimize your own feelings or anything, but just to remember that your experience is just one part of a much bigger picture.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that everyone's going through their own stuff. It's a good time to just pause and ask ourselves, what are some of those little things we take for granted every day?
Exactly. Just having a warm bed, a roof over our heads, even a good cup of coffee.
That's so true. So it's about cultivating gratitude for the simple things.
Exactly. And that little shift in perspective can make a huge difference in how happy you feel overall.
Okay, get ready. Because now Chapman takes us on a wild ride talking about lifestyle design. He's asking us to get real about our values, our passions, and how we're living our lives according to those things. It's pretty intense.
It's about making choices that support your true self, right? It's not about being perfect or working all the time, but about finding that balance where what you do aligns with what you truly believe in and what you want.
I really connected with this one habit, letting go. Chapman talks about how he started giving away stuff every week and how it helped him to detach from material things. It made me think about all the things I hold on to, both physically and emotionally, What about you? Is there something you could let go of to feel lighter?
That's a good question. We often hold on to things, like grudges, regrets, old clothes, stuff that just doesn't serve us anymore. Letting go can make space for new possibilities, new experiences.
Yeah, it's like making room for something better.
Exactly.
And then there was this habit, selfish or selfless. I thought that was kind of strange at first, in a book about positive habits.
Yeah.
What do you make of that one?
Well, what Chapman's getting at is encouraging self-awareness. He says, try making decisions that put your needs first sometimes and then see how it feels.
Oh.
It's not about becoming selfish or ignoring your responsibilities, but about understanding what drives you and finding a balance that feels right for you.
So it's about knowing yourself, your motivations.
Exactly.
Okay, all you productivity fans out there, get your notepads ready because Chapman's Productivity Power-Up section is jam-packed with tips on streamlining your day, optimizing your workflow, getting things done.
And the best part is, he doesn't say there's only one right way to do things.
Oh, good.
He offers a bunch of different tactics, like batching tasks or waking up earlier, so you can find what works best for you. It's about finding your own style, not trying to fit into someone else's mold.
I like that it's personalized. One habit he talks about is simplifying your day. He says take an hour every morning to declutter and organize your workspace.
Yes.
Create that distraction-free zone,
Absolutely. It really helps you focus. I've noticed a huge difference in my mental clarity when my workspace is tidy.
Totally. And then there's the working in bulk habit. So it's a little different from that Pomodoro technique where you work in short bursts with lots of breaks. Chapman's saying longer work sessions with fewer interruptions might be better so you can stay in that flow state.
Yeah, it depends on the person, right?
Yeah.
Some people really thrive on those short bursts of focused work, and Chapman acknowledges that. But for others, those longer sessions where they can really get into a groove might be more effective.
Okay, before we move on, I want to talk about one more habit from this section that really resonated with me. It's called creating priority. And it's not just about making a to-do list.
Okay, tell me more.
He says, think about your energy levels throughout the day and plan accordingly. Like, tackle the toughest tasks when you're feeling most alert and focused.
That makes a lot of sense. We often try to push through when we're tired.
Yeah.
It just ends up being frustrating, and we don't get as much done.
Right.
So being aware of those natural energy peaks and dips and planning around them can really make a difference.
I'm definitely a morning person, so I try to get those brain-intensive tasks done early in the day.
And for people who hit their stride later in the day, adjusting their schedule accordingly can be a game changer. It's about working with your natural rhythms, not against them.
Yeah, it's all about knowing yourself and working with what you've got, right? Speaking of maximizing potential, did you see that waking earlier habit? I'm not a morning person at all.
No, tell me about it.
But Chapman's arguments for getting up early are actually pretty convincing.
Yeah, I hear you. I love my sleep, but he makes a good point. Like, even just an hour or two earlier can make a big difference.
You can get so much done before the day even really starts.
Get a head start on everything.
Yeah, and maybe even fit in some time for yourself.
Oh yeah, self-care. Gotta have that.
It's about setting yourself up for a good day, right from the beginning.
Yeah, I'm willing to give it a shot. One habit I think a lot of us struggle with is that learn to say no thing.
Oh yeah, that's a tough one.
It's so easy to try to please everyone and end up taking on too much. You want to help, you want to be there for people.
Exactly.
But Chapman reminds us that saying no isn't being selfish, it's actually taking care of yourself.
It's like setting boundaries, protecting your time.
Yeah, and your energy.
Yeah.
And recognizing that you can't do everything, right? And it's okay to say no to things that aren't a priority for you.
It's tough to do in the moment, but I've noticed when I do say no, it usually leads to more respect and understanding in the long run.
People appreciate that honesty, and when you're clear about what you can and can't do.
Yeah, no mixed messages.
Exactly. Honesty and clarity, two key ingredients for a good life, I think.
Definitely. So we've talked about so much already.
Fitness, mental stuff, emotions, lifestyle, productivity.
Phew. What are some of the biggest takeaways for you so far?
What really stands out to me is that Chapman's not promising some kind of miracle overnight transformation.
No magic bullet.
Exactly. He's emphasizing that creating a positive life is a process. It takes time.
Small steps, consistency,
Yeah, exactly. It's about those small choices we make every day that build up over time.
and ultimately, lead to lasting change.
You have the power to change your life through your choices and actions.
That's a good reminder.
Yeah. And even those little tweaks to your routine can make a big difference in how happy and successful you are.
So true. Speaking of fitness, remember how Chapman really emphasizes walking every day?
Oh yeah, such a simple thing.
It seems so basic, but he really makes a strong case for how good it is for you, physically, mentally, and emotionally.
And it's so easy to do. Almost anyone can do it.
Just get out there and walk.
Yeah, whether it's a quick walk around the block or a longer walk in nature, it's amazing how good it can make you feel.
Have you noticed that yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely. I always feel so much better after a good walk.
Me too. It clears my head, helps me relax, and I get to enjoy being outside.
And it's not just the physical benefits, right?
Yeah.
Chapman talks about walking being like a moving meditation.
Yeah.
It's a chance to just be present in the moment.
To be in the now.
Exactly. And unplug from all the technology and distractions.
Which we all need, right?
Definitely. Especially in today's world.
Another fitness habit that I found really helpful, especially since I sit at a desk all day, is that staying active one.
Oh, that's a good one.
He talks about moving around regularly, even if it's just for a few minutes at a time.
Little breaks throughout the day.
Yeah, our bodies aren't meant to be still for so long.
Get up and stretch, walk around, do some exercises at your desk.
Just keep moving.
It all makes a difference.
I've been trying to be more mindful of that, and I definitely have more energy, and even my posture is better.
It helps with those aches and pains that come from sitting too long.
Oh, for sure.
It can really help prevent those.
I'm all about that.
Right.
Gotta stay healthy. And I have to mention the making exercise fun habit.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's so important to remember that exercise shouldn't feel like a chore.
It should be something you enjoy.
Exactly. Find something you love, something that gets you excited to move.
Like a dance class or a new sport, or even just going for a bike ride with friends.
Yeah. It should be fun, not punishment.
Exactly. It's about taking care of yourself, not punishing yourself.
Love that. Now, what about strength training? I'll admit, I've always been a little intimidated by it.
A lot of people are, yeah.
But Chapman makes it seem very approachable.
He does. He talks about using your own body weight, so you don't need any special equipment.
Oh.
And he gives some simple exercises you can do at home to work all the different muscle groups.
That takes away the intimidation factor for sure.
Just a few minutes, a few times a week can make a big difference.
Yeah, I can definitely commit to that.
You'll be surprised how much stronger and more energetic you feel.
And for people who prefer cardio, he has this kind of quirky suggestion.
What's that?
Jogging on the spot.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It sounds a little silly, but it's actually a great way to get your heart rate up without even leaving the house.
You can do it anywhere.
Yeah. And it's low impact, so it's easy on your joints.
Multitasking.
Exactly. You can do it while you're watching TV or listening to music.
I love that. One of my favorite habits from the fitness section is finding a habit.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's all about trying new things, exploring new activities and hobbies that challenge you, both physically and mentally.
Stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, it could be learning a new sport, taking up a musical instrument, trying a new recipe, anything that gets you excited.
It's about staying curious and keeping your mind and body engaged.
Yeah, constantly learning new things.
Challenging yourself to grow.
Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about some of the mental habits Chapman recommends.
Okay, yeah.
For building a more positive and productive mindset.
Sounds good.
One that really stuck with me is looking at negativity.
Oh, that's an important one.
He talks about becoming aware of those negative thought patterns we all have.
Yeah, those spirals we get into.
Exactly, and challenging those thoughts instead of letting them control us.
It's not about pretending everything is perfect.
No, but about becoming more conscious of when we're being negative.
Yeah, and then choosing to shift our focus.
He suggests asking yourself, is this thought helpful? Or what evidence do I have to support this belief?
Oh, I like that.
It's like putting those negative thoughts on trial.
Yeah, remembering that your thoughts aren't necessarily facts. They're just your interpretation of things.
And we can choose to interpret things differently.
Exactly.
Another mental habit that I think is really important, especially for me, is contemplation relation.
What is that one?
It's about pausing and thinking before reacting to things, especially when you're feeling emotional.
Oh, that's so hard.
I know, right?
We're so used to just reacting immediately.
Yeah, but Chapman's encouraging us to take a step back, look at the bigger picture.
Make a conscious choice about how to respond.
He suggests taking some deep breaths and asking yourself, what's the best way to handle this? Or what might happen if I do this?
It's about creating space between the trigger and your response.
Yeah, and choosing a path that's aligned with your values and goals.
It's responding, not reacting.
Exactly.
Being in control, not on autopilot.
Okay, here's a habit I think we could all benefit from.
What's that?
Noting your positivity.
Oh, yeah, focusing on the good stuff.
It's so easy to get caught up in the negative.
Right, we're wired that way almost.
But Chapman reminds us to make an effort to recognize and appreciate the good things in our lives.
It's like training your brain to see the positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He suggests keeping a gratitude journal, sharing positive experiences with others, just taking a few minutes each day to think about what you're grateful for.
Simple things.
It's about shifting your focus from what's wrong to what's right.
Yeah, doesn't mean ignoring the challenges.
No, but it's about choosing to focus on what makes you feel good.
What empowers you.
Exactly. Another mental habit that I really liked is detailing the positives.
What is that one?
It's about focusing on the solutions instead of getting stuck on the problems.
So instead of dwelling on what's wrong,
Yeah.
you ask yourself, what can I do to make this better?
Or what opportunities might come from this.
It's about taking ownership,
Yeah.
focusing on what you can control,
Exactly. And taking action to make things better.
being proactive.
Now, get ready for this one. It's a bit of a mind bender.
Okay, hit me.
Challenging assumptions.
Oh, interesting.
Chapman wants us to question our beliefs, to be open to new perspectives.
To consider that we might be wrong sometimes?
Yeah, to step outside our comfort zones.
And realize there might be other ways of looking at things.
He suggests seeking out different viewpoints, thinking about alternative explanations, even being willing to change your mind when you learn something new.
It's about being open-minded
Yeah, staying curious.
and realizing you don't have all the answers.
So true. Now let's move into Chapman's approach to emotional habits.
Okay, yeah.
He starts off with meditate for success.
Meditation is so powerful.
He really believes in it for calming the mind, reducing stress, improving focus.
There's so much research to back that up.
And it doesn't have to be complicated.
No, not at all.
He suggests starting with just a few minutes each day, focusing on your breath, and observing your thoughts without judgment.
There are so many different types of meditation out there.
Yeah, you can find what works for you.
Guided meditations, mindfulness exercises, even walking meditations.
Which brings us to walking meditation.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
He has a whole section on that. He describes it as a way to bring mindfulness into your everyday life.
Being present in the moment
Yeah, connecting with your surroundings.
and cultivating a sense of peace and calm.
He suggests paying attention to the sensations of your body as you walk, noticing the movement of your feet, the feeling of the air on your skin.
The sights and sounds around you.
Yeah, it's about bringing your attention to the present moment and letting go of those distracting thoughts.
It's a great way to make mindfulness feel more accessible,
Yeah, less intimidating.
and you can do it anywhere, anytime.
Another emotional habit that Chapman emphasizes is identifying emotions.
Oh yeah, knowing what you're feeling.
He talks about becoming aware of your emotional state and being able to name your feelings.
Putting words to them.
Yeah, it's about developing emotional literacy.
Understanding how your emotions influence your thoughts and behaviors.
He suggests paying attention to your physical sensations, noticing your thoughts and urges, and using a vocabulary of emotions to label your experience.
It's like becoming more attuned to your inner world,
Yeah.
understanding what makes you tick.
Okay, now let's talk about the lifestyle habits that Chapman recommends
Okay.
for creating a life that aligns with your values and passions.
Yeah, that's important.
He starts off with a very fundamental question. What's your values?
It's a good question to ask yourself.
He encourages us to really think about our core values.
What's most important to us?
Yeah, and to make sure our actions are in line with those values.
Living a life that's true to yourself?
He suggests asking yourself questions like, what do I stand for?
It's about defining your guiding principles.
Using them as a compass to navigate your life.
Making choices that are authentic and meaningful.
Once you've figured out your values, Chapman says, okay, now what are you passionate about?
What's your passions?
He wants us to identify the things that make us feel truly alive.
The things that light us up.
Yeah, he suggests exploring different activities, paying attention to what energizes you,
Noticing what you're drawn to.
and then find ways to incorporate those passions into your life.
whether it's through your work, your hobbies, or your relationships.
It's about finding meaning and purpose in your everyday life.
Yeah, making sure your actions reflect what truly matters to you.
And then there's the creating a vision habit.
Ooh, I like that one.
Chapman encourages us to create a clear vision for the future.
A vision that inspires you,
Yeah, that motivates you to take action.
something to strive for.
He suggests asking yourself questions like, what do I want my life to look like in 5 years? Or what kind of impact do I want to make on the world?
It's about setting your sights on something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, and letting that vision pull you forward.
It's not about creating a rigid plan,
No, it's about having a direction.
a sense of purpose.
And speaking of inspiration, Chapman talks about inspiring yourself.
Oh yeah, we all need that sometimes.
He suggests looking to your own past successes for inspiration.
Remembering those times when you overcame challenges and achieved your goals.
Yeah, tapping into that inner strength and resilience you already have.
Reminding yourself that you're capable of great things.
It's about believing in yourself and your ability to create the life you want.
And it's not about dwelling on the past or comparing yourself to others.
No, but about using your own experiences to fuel your present effort.
Exactly. Drawing on your own strength.
Okay, now here's a habit that might seem a bit counterintuitive. Challenging beliefs.
Oh, interesting.
Chapman wants us to question our limiting beliefs and be open to new perspectives.
To consider that our beliefs might not be serving us,
Yeah.
he suggests asking yourself, is this belief helpful? Or what would happen if I believe something different?
It's about challenging those negative thought patterns
Yeah, that's self-sabotage.
and replacing them with more positive and supportive affirmations.
Reframing your mindset to support your goals.
Exactly. And recognizing that our beliefs have a powerful influence on our reality.
We create our own reality, in a way.
Now, this is a habit that I think we can all relate to.
What's that?
Letting go.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Chapman talks about letting go of things that no longer serve us.
Physical clutter, emotional baggage, limiting beliefs.
All of it. It's about recognizing that holding on to those things can weigh us down.
Prevent us from moving forward.
He suggests decluttering your home, practicing forgiveness, letting go of those old stories that no longer serve you.
It's about making space for new possibilities.
Yeah, creating space for growth.
And it's not about denying the past.
No, it's about choosing to focus on what empowers you.
What helps you move forward?
And then there's that selfish or selfless habit again.
Oh.
It might seem a bit strange in a book about positive habits, but Chapman's encouraging us to find a balance between taking care of ourselves and taking care of others.
It's not about being selfish,
No,
but about recognizing that you can't give what you don't have.
you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. Taking care of yourself is essential.
For your own well-being,
And for your ability to show up for others.
it's about finding that sweet spot where you're honoring your own needs while also being compassionate and generous towards others.
It's a balancing act.
Okay, let's move on to the personal habits that Chapman recommends
Okay,
for creating a more productive and fulfilling life.
good stuff.
One that I really liked was simplifying your day.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
He talks about decluttering your workspace, streamlining your routines, minimizing distractions.
Creating a calm and focused environment.
He suggests creating to-do lists, setting priorities, scheduling time for specific tasks.
Being intentional with your time.
Yeah, and directing your energy towards what matters most.
It's about having a system.
Another important personal habit is establishing your goals.
Oh, goals are crucial.
He encourages us to set clear and specific goals.
Goals that are aligned with your values and passions.
He suggests using that SMART goal-setting framework.
Making sure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
It's about having a roadmap for success.
Yeah, breaking those big goals down into smaller steps.
And then there's the beginning a project habit.
Oh yeah, that first step can be tough.
He knows that starting a new project can be daunting, so he suggests breaking it down into smaller, more manageable steps.
Just get started.
Yeah, set a timer for 30 minutes and focus on just one task.
Build momentum.
Celebrate those small wins along the way.
And enjoy the process.
Speaking of enjoying the process, let's talk about developing habits.
Oh yeah, good habits are key.
Chapman emphasizes creating positive habits that support your goals.
Automating those behaviors so they become second nature.
Yeah. He suggests using habit trackers, setting reminders, finding an accountability partner,
To help you stay on track
making those positive choices until they become part of who you are.
and being patient with yourself.
Yeah, it takes time to build lasting habits.
It's a journey.
And then there's determining productivity.
Oh, I like that.
He wants us to track our productivity, see what works and what doesn't, and keep improving our systems.
Finding ways to work smarter, not harder.
He suggests using time-tracking apps, analyzing your work habits, experimenting with different productivity techniques.
It's about optimizing your workflow.
Now, here's a classic time management technique: batching for success.
Oh yeah, batching is great.
He talks about grouping similar tasks together.
To improve focus and efficiency.
He suggests scheduling blocks of time for specific types of work.
Like email, writing, meetings.
It's about creating a rhythm for your day and minimizing those distractions.
And being flexible too, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes unexpected things come up.
Yeah, you got to be able to adjust.
Exactly.
Now, this next habit is interesting because it goes beyond just prioritizing your tasks.
Okay.
It's called creating priority.
It's an interesting name.
Chapman says, think about your energy levels throughout the day
Oh yeah, like we were talking about earlier.
and schedule your most demanding work for when you're feeling most alert and focused.
Makes sense.
It's about working smarter, not harder,
Right. Using your energy wisely.
and being realistic about what you can accomplish in a day.
We all have limitations.
Speaking of limitations, one habit that addresses a common challenge is working in bulk.
Oh yeah? I was curious about that one.
Chapman thinks longer work sessions with fewer interruptions are better.
So you can really get in the zone.
Yeah, maintain that flow state and get more done in less time.
I can see how that would be effective for some people.
It's about creating that focused environment where you can really concentrate.
Minimizing distractions.
And finally, we can't forget about learn to say no.
Oh yeah, that's a crucial one.
It's so easy to say yes to everything,
You want to help. You want to be involved.
but Chapman reminds us that saying no is essential for protecting your time and energy.
Setting boundaries.
It's not selfish, it's self-care.
Exactly. And it's about being clear with people about what you can and can't do.
Being assertive, communicating your needs.
And ultimately, saying no to some things allows you to say yes to the things that truly matter.
So true. We've covered a lot of ground today.
Fitness, mental shifts, emotions, lifestyle, productivity.
Chapman's book is full of practical advice.
It really is a treasure trove.
But as you said earlier, it's not about trying to do everything at once.
No, one step at a time.
It's about picking a few habits that resonate with you and focusing on incorporating them into your routine.
Yeah, and remembering it's a journey, not a destination.
There will be setbacks, there will be challenges.
But the key is to keep moving forward.
Keep learning and keep growing.
Absolutely. It's about progress, not perfection.
Enjoy the ride. You know, with all these amazing habits we've been talking about, I keep thinking about that disclaimer at the beginning of the book.
Oh yeah, right, where he says he's not a licensed expert or anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good reminder that even with all this great advice, it's important to talk to the professionals, you know?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Especially if you're making big changes in your life, like with health or finances or anything that needs like specialized knowledge.
Chapman's book is a great starting point.
Yeah.
It gives you so much to think about, but it's not meant to replace professional advice when you need it.
Absolutely. So after this deep dive into Chapman's 50 positive habits, what's calling your name? Which one are you going to try out?
That's a tough one. There's so many good ones. I think I'm going to focus on stopping yourself short.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
I've noticed I tend to, downplay my accomplishments and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes I shy away from opportunities that feel a little out of reach.
The classic imposter syndrome. I struggle with that too.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to try to be more conscious of those thoughts and push myself to step into those spaces where I might feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, get out of that comfort zone.
Exactly, because that's where the growth happens, right?
I love that. So it's about embracing those challenges and knowing that discomfort can actually be a good thing.
Yeah, it means you're stretching yourself.
Now, what about you? Which habit are you drawn to?
I'm really interested in that mental redirection habit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when things go wrong, I can get stuck in this negative spiral.
My God.
It's like my automatic response.
Chapman's suggestion to shift your focus from the problem itself to figure out why it happened is really powerful.
Yeah, instead of just dwelling on the negative, you try to understand the root cause and find solutions.
Become a problem solver, not a complainer.
I love that. It's about taking control and using that energy to make positive change.
Exactly. So it sounds like we both have some habits to work on.
Definitely.
It'll be interesting to see how they transform our lives. Maybe we can check in with each other in a few weeks and share our progress.
Oh yeah, let's do that. I'd love to hear how it goes for you.
And for everyone listening, we'd love to hear what resonated with you from this deep dive. What habit are you going to experiment with? Head over to our website or social media and let us know. Building a positive life is something we can all do together.
Absolutely. We can learn and grow from each other's experiences.
We're all in this together. Until next time, keep diving deep, stay curious, and keep those positive habits rolling.
See you next time.